Hey everybody, it's your friend Dan. We're back again at it at the news again. We're back on for the news again. So, I know you guys have been kind of wondering when I was going to go back to doing some comic book information, and luckily today is one of the best days to do comic book information. Given that, Wednesday tends to be one of those days where you gotta get some good information. Alright, hold on a second as I try to catch you guys up on some stuff. Okay, alright, alright, let's see if I find something. Okay, did you guys know that the Star Wars Skeleton Crew has a secret connection to Star Wars' most maligned series that most fans had probably missed? Okay, so Skeleton Crew and the Book of Boba Fett have a connection. Alright? Look, Skeleton Crew and the Book of Boba Fett are connected. Will the Skeleton Crew feature a bigger crossover in the Book of Boba Fett? Probably. I don't know. And then Skeleton Crew's the Hutt cameo could set up for something bigger. Yeah, considering that I'm a big fan of the Jabba the Hutt. I like Hutt. Alright, so Star Wars Skeleton Crew is among one of the best new projects in Lucasfilm. Over tackling some different tasks that the fandom has never seen before. Series is led by John Watts, director of the Spider-Man trilogy, and this is basically just on a throwback adventure to simple times, where it's a coming-of-age story with childlike people, or should we say, childlike aliens that basically go on adventures, just like Goonies, E.T., and all that stuff. But Skeleton Crew carves out a different place for itself in Star Wars franchise. It feels surprisingly different. Also, kind of weirdly refreshing after a long period of disconcert therein. Skeleton Crew elevates the Star Wars in an emotion-driven narrative that doesn't really rely on other projects for their story. Okay, I agree with that. However, the problem is there aren't certain connections to other Star Wars movies and shows in their first season. Episode 5, in particular, of Skeleton Crew, has a surprising but also an easy to miss cameo that connects to another Disney Plus series that also has received decidedly more negative reviews. Although this cameo was like a blink and you miss it type cameo, it could also hint that something bigger is in store for Star Wars. And one could see why this return of this other several iconic characters. Skeleton Crew and the Book of Boba Fett are connected. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Skeleton Crew and the Book of Boba Fett are connected. But how are they connected? Well, given the fact that we saw Jabba the Hutts, or should we say some of the Jabba the Hutts, relaxing in the mud as Skeleton Crew continues their search through the resorts. The Jabba the Hutt species is a very important species to Star Wars. In fact, Jabba the Hutt is the most well-known of this species of the Jabba the Hutts. Also, if you want to, those are the Jabba the Hutts. Right there. Okay, now including these two of the Hutt clan, the Hutt clan, the gangsters from the Hutt clan, you see right there, alright, the Hutt clan. An unnamed Hutt is mistakenly then seen, but then others appear not to be for the first time. Casual people might not have noticed that. But people who have been long-time Star Wars fans would know that, because if you watch the originals, you guys know the Hutts are an important place to Star Wars Galaxy. Okay, these are the cast and characters. Okay, the characters on the left and the person it played on the right. Okay, not really anything there. But I also got this stupid advertisement right in the middle of my fucking... Right in the middle of my fucking video. Fuck. Why do I have this stupid thing for jobs in Ohio right in the middle of my fucking article? But basically, it's basically saying the Jabba the Hutt has more Hutts in the species of the Hutts. One of them is obviously a brother, while the other one is a sister. Well, they're of the same clan, of course, and they're twins. Will we see more of the Hutts in future Star Wars projects? Well, possibly. Will Skeleton Crew feature bigger crossovers in Book of Boba Fett? Well, you see, the trailer by Disney Plus is right there. Okay, Skeleton Crew, in their brief Hutt cameo, can also hint that it has a larger place in the franchise, perhaps setting up future crossovers with other series, most notably, possibly, the Book of Boba Fett won't likely have a second season. After all, fallen after its largely negative reception, fans and audiences can expect to see certain characters from the cancelled Star Wars show showing up on Skeleton Crew. The only problem, though, is there's only one episode left. After that episode, everybody's gonna go all experimental and be like, hey, are there any other Boba Fett cameos? Well, possibly. Possibly. Okay, these are the upcoming Star Wars projects. Obviously, we know about the one next summer. Not this summer, but next summer. The one directed by Jon Favreau. We also got the new Jedi Order. That's to be announced. The Dawn of the Jedi, which, obviously, that's to get announced. The Heir to the Empire film. That's to be announced. And then Episode 10 to be announced. Okay, so those are all the Star Wars movies that we'll be getting. Alright. If renewed for second season and beyond, Skeleton Crew can pull off something like a pirate-themed story where basically they spill the whole world of bounty hunters and crime lords and gangsters and all that stuff, and kind of give some new life to what the Book of Boba Fett had, but make it better. Okay? Skeleton Crew could even go on and continue the abandoned storyline of Boba Fett and have a newfound rivalry with the Hutts, who still have not given hope at reclaiming Jabba's territory. Future season of Skeleton Crew can also evolve into an all-out gang war where Boba Fett has strived to see his territory from falling into the enemy. This would be a terrific way to tie in the Book of Boba Fett without renewing the infamous series into the second season of Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, the Hutt cameo, can set something up bigger. There are more stories of the Hutts that we can tell. In fact, while Skeleton Crew's Hutt cameo can be setting up something bigger to the Book of Boba Fett, this tease is something else. After a long absence from the Star Wars stories, the Hutts are finally coming back in full force. It was recently revealed that there is someone who is going to voice Rada the Hutt in The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, marking his first appearance since the 2008 Clone Wars. The movie is set on him several years after Jabba's death, and it will likely touch on how Rada is carrying on his father's legacy in the aftermath of his empire's collapse. Now, this film could also play larger in the Hutt story, including Rada and the Twin Hutts, as depicted from the Book of Boba Fett, as they work together to rebuild their crime network in the wake of the New Republic. Okay, and these are the series, as we see right now. Skeleton Crew is now airing. Again, that's done by John Watts and Christopher Ford. Then we have Andor. That's happening this year. We got Andor. We have Andor coming back. And then, to be announced, we have Ahsoka. Also showrun again by Dave Filoni. We don't know when Ahsoka is happening. We just know it's announced. Okay. While it remains unclear how the Hutts will be introduced in the Mandalorian and Grogu project, Star Wars seems to be devoted in bringing the gangster slugs back from those stories. Even the Hutts can find themselves in a subject of a new Disney Plus project where it could depict their horrible lives as gang lords. This wouldn't be such a bad idea if Lucasfilm had considered a Hutt-centered spin-off. Now, again, Guillermo del Toro has also pitched this idea for Jabba the Hutt. A Jabba the Hutt spin-off project, again, was pitched again by Guillermo del Toro, though his project was never written. After spending a long time focusing on bounty hunters and pirates and other criminals, maybe we should get ready to do a Hutt-centered spin-off. Skeleton Crew's Hutt cameo may be a simple nod to another Star Wars show, but it could be much more, including one of the Twin Hutts from the Book of Boba Fett can also set up some future appearances for the characters and other projects, as well as larger storylines for the Hutts. The Skeleton Crew. It's basically 4 kids go on a mysterious discovery on a home planet that leaves them lost in strange and dangerous galaxies. Okay, so I hope that clears you up on Star Wars, and I'll see you later.